Welcome to a brand new episode of Silver and Steel right here on D&D Beyond. I had to do it in tune.
D&D.
That was lovely.
Thank you. I
D&D
tried.
Beyond.
Yeah,
Just
that
we
makes it a
can't-
lot more ominous.
We can't get demonetized by us. So hey, there you go.
Yeah, copy strike me. I dare you. I don't actually. I'm not.
I don't.
Please don't. I'm so
Twitch
sorry.
isn't paying attention. They're like, okay.
I know, right?
That sounds like a good idea.
Hi, hello. This is a brand new I guess we're not brand new anymore. We're episode 5. We're veterans now. We're up to episode 5 of our brand new
Grizzled
D&D
vets.
5th edition campaign. We've had a crazy journey so far. We've encountered rednecks. We've encountered werediles. We've encountered Scottish dwarves, and
Yeah.
we've encountered
Lots of snot.
and
Better.
a child warlock now, which that should be interesting to
This
see
should
how
go well.
that pans out. Yeah. 7-year-olds and eldritch blasts.
Yeah.
What
Good,
about
good
that?
job, Todd.
It goes together.
I'm a good parent.
Peanut nutter jelly. It's perfect. But before we get into it, let's go around the table and introduce everybody. B. Dave, take it away.
B. Dave Walters. I say words about things anywhere. Important thing though, Tess Fowler. We're doing a GoFundMe. She's battling cancer and it's insane. So visit her Twitter, Tess Fowler 07, or mine, or everywhere. We're raising money to help out my homie. Our as a people, as a community's homie. That's
Our
it.
homie.
Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. Yes, go help out Tess Fowler.
That's amazing. Todd.
I'm Todd Kenreck. I am the creative manager. Go help Tess, and I DM Beyond Heroes, and I'm in charge of all the creative stuff you see on D&D, except for the books. I don't make the books, and that's what I'm up to. Take away, wife.
Hello, I'm Meagan Kenreck. I'll be playing Sofieus, the Knight of Bacon. Go help Tess, aka the Red-Headed Butter Witch. Go help Tess, aka an alchemist artificer.
That was the single best promo I've ever heard cut, and I was a wrestling fan for many, many years.
Mhm. I like the subliminal messaging, how it's like getting kind of steeped in there.
Do it.
Yeah, and I'll be your DM for today. I'm that bronze girl, and yeah, I love Tess Fowler's work on a number of different comic books. I'm a comic book aficionado a little bit, so you could tell from the Doctor Strange #1 prominently displayed behind me.
Wonderful.
So
yeah.
when I say she's brilliant and you should support her, you should. And with that, let's smash cut to trailer. Go.
Smash Cup.
Do
Will,
it.
don't screw that.
And we are back. When we last left our adventurers, they were in a somewhat dried up pond bed, lake bed. However, this lake bed is not so dry that one can traverse it easily. Rather, it has become treacherous terrain in which your shoes, socks, and mayhaps even a good chunk of your trousers are easily soiled
For various reasons.
for various reasons.
I'm sorry, I'm not wearing any trousers. Thank you.
That's uncomfortable.
That's hey, no body shaming of the constructs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, your construct plates are knee deep in caked in muck. Unfortunately, you almost wish you were wearing trousers. They may be easier to clean or throw away. Disposable, it may even be. I don't know where that sentence came from.
That was interesting wording there. Yeah,
It was very interesting wording.
When you
Like,
said
I'm speaking
trousers,
English
I was
for
like,
the first time. Trousers.
Trousers.
That's what they call them in D&D.
That's what they
Yeah.
told them in the Underdark, and now I
Smurf
understand
enabling.
why this outer covering is so important. I should
Smurf
pick up some
enabling.
trousers.
Mhm.
Trousers, yes.
As evidenced by the book, if you give a Tarask trousers, he will
But do
ask
they-
for a cup of tea.
But do they wear them across just their back legs or across their front legs as well? Oh,
You
that's
have to
different.
ask a Tarask.
I feel like they put the
That's a
pants over
Tarask.
those two top horns, honestly. Just like put them up there, right?
You can't
Horn
spoil
pants.
it, B-Dave. They have to ask the Tarask.
No, crap, dang it. Ugh, I made it weird.
Horn-
Sorry,
Horn
internet.
pants are the best.
Horn
What?
pants. Horn warmers.
Yes.
That should be the name of our crew, the horn warmers.
Horn warmers.
Horn
None of us have horns.
No.
We get stabbed with them,
And
though.
it
That's
was
the
a good
thing.
run. We're banned.
No,
that
we're-
sounds
Yes.
strange.
What's the matter with that,
In
Todd?
Thank you, Cleveland. Good night.
Tip your bartender. In this somewhat half-dried pond, our adventurers came across a weird narrow hole with a ominous stench. That sentence.
Weird. No, don't stop.
What
don't
is
stop.
wrong
Just
with
keep
this
going.
stream today?
I totally
This is-
thought
No one is
fine.
making you do any of this. I just want you to know this is just all
This
you're
is
doing.
All on you. Okay.
I know.
Sydney,
and I'm
we're
so
yes-anding you.
confused.
and I am
We're
here for
yes-
all of it.
Ending you.
Tell
And
me.
Freely decided to slip and slide down this narrow, slippery, stinky path and found himself in a cavernous
Opening, say it.
a, a cavernous opening from which a creepy voice was emanating, as often happens with creepy cavernous openings. And I believe where we left Freely, he had just heard a slippery, smooth voice call out, now what tasty morsel is this?
Now, I was descending by rope, trying to be stealthy. Do I
Mhm.
hear this?
Yes.
All
It
right.
echoes along the nice deep walls and comes
I'm
almost
holding
gets
the rope.
magnified.
I'm holding the rope that Callie is hanging on to. Do I hear it, or is it too far away?
How close are you to the opening?
I assumed I'm standing like right at the top of it.
Then you would hear
If
it.
she's descending.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, not only will you hear it, but at this point, over the connection, you will, over the telepathic connection that I've got up, you will hear me say, well, Beaver Biscuits, he's gone on ahead and alerted to whatever we were trying to go after. I'm trying to make a stealthy approach, and I think that I've now failed.
Yeah,
Excuse
that's
me.
Freely. He,
I rolled a natural 20 on my descent. It was smooth, okay? And now it's
But
You
it
time to
kept
do
your
some-
footing.
It's time to do some heroing, that's all.
But
Yeah.
it was not at all stealthy. And
but
now
it was not stealthy.
No.
I yelled down the hole. His name's Freely, and no, he tastes terrible. It's gross. You don't want to eat him.
I guess
mean-
I'm no longer making any kind of stealthy approach, and I would like to let go of the rope and slide on down to Freely.
Okay.
So I do not have dark vision, but my moon blade does glow, which
Mhm.
I very much had out. So
Yeah.
do I see the source of these sultry tones?
As far as you can see, everything looks to be, it looks like you're in a very almost like tight cavern. The floor is rock, but it is slippery, and around you are remains. Some of them skeletal in nature, some of them more meatier than you would like. You don't see anything except from the far right corner in front of you. You do see a pair of glowing eyes.
I would like to activate my divine sense so that
Mhm.
I'll know if there's a good, evil, celestial, fiends, fey, or undead all within 60 feet of me, because presumably this person is negative. But one, I'd like to double check. Two, I'd like to know if there's other negativity that I just
Yeah.
haven't noticed yet.
Yeah. You feel an ominous evil presence wafting off of whatever this creature is.
I start to descend by the rope.
Okay.
And,
Around this time, Callie's reaching the bottom.
I very
Does
much.
Callie have dark vision?
I don't think she does.
That is funny. They built you in the
I was gonna
Underdark
say
without dark
that's
vision.
funny because you're from the Underdark.
Yeah, well, there's a reason that I have a lantern, which I am holding the lantern, which the last thing that Freely did was make it
Make
the
it bright.
worst thieves' lantern ever of all time.
Mhm.
But now I have a bright lantern in this space, so I will show up. I will also produce one of my knives and look around. Does the light help at all with anything?
Give me a perception check.
Sure.
I do recount via the mental link. I'm like, definitely evil down here.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 16.
Okay. Same thing. This is a very large room, but it feels, like I said, claustrophobic because there's so much debris, decay, and all matter of animal, maybe human carcass on the ground, if that makes sense. Feels almost like the walls are pressing in on you. The darkness is so oppressive.
Do I recognize any of the remains as stuff that was on the were-dial that we defeated?
The smell is very familiar to you. You wouldn't have to even look very closely to make that connection.
I look at whatever this is and I say, hey, it has been just like a super rough 2 days and I'm feeling charitable. So I tell you what, if you just go and never return, that'll be the end of it.
Actually, no, I had some questions now that we are actually talking. Who are you and why are you here? And do you know anything about I believe we've been calling them were-dials, but I'm not sure if that is the actual nomenclature we should be going by. Do you know anything about those?
Leave? And where would I go? This is my home, after all. Were-dial? Is that the wretched name you've given my brilliant little creatures?
It was not my name. It seems to be the name that the locals have given it, as it seems to be some kind of crocodile were-creature.
It is slightly derivative. I'm not going to lie to you about that.
How long has exactly? Sorry, forgive you. I just got down from the rope and yeah. So, anyways, my name's Avren. Nice to meet you. Glowing eyes. I was wondering how long this has been your home.
Many cycles of the moon I've lived here. I've passed through shadow, through darkness. I've slept for years at a time, but here I've remained since time immemorial.
What do you want? Do you wish to be left alone?
Yes, left to do my bidding.
And what exactly are we talking about? Is your bidding exactly?
Things that amuse me.
Okay, I feel like we're getting
You
closer.
amuse me. You see the eyes kind of move forward a little bit.
When they move forward, I move forward slightly. Like if they come towards Avren, I sort of get I don't step right in front of him, but I'm like a little bit forward. Like
you've come to pay homage.
I mean, maybe, yeah. If I look around at the ground and I'm like, hey, I get everybody's got to eat. Maybe we can work something out. I mean, you're kind of gonna have to skip the people, but maybe we can work out like some cattle deliveries or something here. If this is your home, if you have lived here since time immemorial, I can respect that. But we're gonna need you to have to insist. You can't keep eating the locals.
That may be difficult.
And why exactly would that be?
You see, I owe a debt to someone. And when they come calling, I must do as they ask.
Who do you owe a debt to?
The one who woke me from my long slumber as I lay buried here.
Are they about yay tall? Like I just approximate how tall I've been told this person is. Yay tall, robe, muddy boots. I mean, I guess they had muddy boots by the time they got here. It seems like sort of feminine, maybe. But is this ringing any bells?
As you say this, now the dim light of your sword does illuminate its face. You see two very large, unmistakable nostrils and a smooth, scaly mouth curved into an almost wicked smile. And you see the large, heart-shaped head of what is a very large old snake. And she tilts her head to one side, then to the other, until she's almost right in front of you. And at this point, the smell is almost oppressive. And you notice her flesh barely clings to her gnarled bones.
Mm.
And she says, maybe you speak of the Pale Walker?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Pale Walker, old friend of ours, old friend. Yeah.
No, not a friend.
You guys are so
Lies.
bad at negotiating.
Deceit. And you see her like bob her head back and forth.
I've been relaying this whole conversation to Sofieus
Thank you.
upstairs. And at this point, Callie, to you, will say, we're probably getting to a point where either we're going to make a deal or have to kill this thing. So you might either want to come down here or run. I would not blame you if you did either.
Sophius is going to feather fall down the hole.
Okay.
And as soon as she sees this thing, she's just going to be like, oh my God, what is this? And she arms herself with a stick of butter.
Okay.
The most fearsome of implements.
Yes.
I mean,
Now that we've got this snake illuminated and she's talked about being buried as a creature who has lived her whole life underground, do I recognize anything about what kind of creature this is? Or have I heard tales of some awful monster snake?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
Sophius, are you coming down? Did you come down?
I just came down. I'm holding a stick of butter.
It is,
Okay,
yeah,
that
it's
seems
very
right.
dark down here. So there's like a little bit of dim light from Freely's
okay.
sword that's falling on her nostrils.
And I've
And
still
you
got
see
the...
his hair almost like drift back a little bit every time she breathes.
You got some snot.
He
I've also got
is
the
completely fearless in the face of this thing, by the way. Like, he's just like,
Mhm.
I still got the lantern out and I got a 23 on my history.
Okay. So you've heard a lot of tales of a lot of large, strange beasts that dwell in the night and very large snakes. And this sounds roughly like some of them, but something is wrong here. There is a factor that is off. The den seems wrong to you. The smell seems off to you. There is something distinctly unsnake-like about this snake.
did my divine sense would have registered undead? Does she register as undead or just skinny
No.
and sick looking?
Just skinny and sick looking.
Okay, believe it or not, that actually makes Freely feel like a little bad for her, evil or not. So I'm like,
Aw.
hey, okay, so look, I don't mean to be disrespectful here, but you look like you haven't been eating too well, but there's a lot left over here. Like, if you're in trouble, maybe we could help you.
Let's have the whole group give me a perception check.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use my
wife is
D&D
actually,
digital dice.
quite good with alchemy, by the way. She might be able to do something for you.
I just rolled a natural 20.
Ooh, nice.
Very nice.
Yay!
Finally.
I rolled not that. So there you go.
Yeah.
That is your first one. There you go.
Yay.
That means
Cheers.
somebody in chat gets a bundle.
Hooray. And I actually got a 23 with my modifier.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I
That
just
butter helps.
true.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
The
You gotta
comfort
grease
butter.
those 20s.
But say it clogs arteries and unclogs perception. Yeah.
If you're hungry, I can cook you something. I think I have some more catfish. And she's like digging in her bag of holding and
As
pulls out a few catfish.
you're digging through your bag, you notice that some of the the mixture of mud and flesh around you has moved, and you make out the vague outline of a body. And it occurs to you that as you've been speaking to her, this creature has encircled you
Oh, no.
Oh.
in a very
Okay,
wide
so-
circle.
Avren,
Right.
what
Yeah,
is-
that's not good. It's
what
not
is
great.
happening?
Before we get started, can we just ask your name?
Sueta.
Sueta,
That's
I need
beautiful
you to understand that we're about to reach a moment where we're going to be done talking and we will destroy you. And I'd rather not. So just last call. If you need our help, we will help. If not, you're the problem we're here to solve.
Her eyes glow like a very ominous, and they almost like they wake up a little bit, like before they were milky and now they're completely illuminated. And she almost lights the entire chamber with a dim light. And she says, "Oh, you will help. I will help myself to your flesh, to your bones, to your offal." Roll initiative.
I was about to say, while she's talking, I blast her. So,
I figured the roll initiative was coming.
Right.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, I will spend eternity taking a crap down this hole if that makes your life any miserable.
She's like villainous monologue. I'm like, hey, let me ask you just one question. Blam!
Shablam.
21 for Freely.
Okay.
16 for Sophia's.
7 for Callie. She rolled poorly.
I got a 10.
I accidentally have 2 things on here, so I'm just going to ignore the second one. Okay, so you said 21 for Freely.
Yes.
Wait, what happened?
Digital dice, digital dice.
7 for
awesome.
Callie.
Yep.
We did get a short rest, didn't we?
Mhm.
Yes.
What
Got a
did
long
Avren
rest?
get?
We got a long rest. We got a long rest. We have not short rested since we came out to the lake, I don't think.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Avren's at level 3. Okay.
What was your initiative?
10.
10. And Sophia's?
16.
16. Oh, perfect. All right. So Freely, you get the jump on this thing. What do you do?
I'm going to drop my Hexblade's curse on her, so I get some bonuses against her. I'm going to move in the direction of Sofieus, so I can interpose myself between the snake and Sofieus, because by now I realize what Avren's about to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I blast her, the Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Blast the snake, not Sophia's. I'm like, plot twist. I was with the snake the entire time.
I kill Freely. I tear
knew
his
we
head to
shouldn't
clean
have
off his
trusted Freely.
shoulders.
Mhm.
It's true. You were right not to trust me. That is a 15.
15. Okay, that hits.
Hey. For a big ol' 5 points of damage.
Okay. Is that your? Do you want to do anything else with bonus action? Or actually,
No,
your
the
hex is
bonus
your
the bonus action was the hex. Yeah.
Okay,
So I
perfect.
bonused, moved a little, and shot her. Hey, I said I was done talking. So when she's like, "I'll get you," I'm like, "Roop."
Yeah.
Yep.
As you do this, you all feel the ground around you kind of shake, and it's almost like a dog shaking itself off when it's wet. You notice that her body was concealed underneath the bodies around you, and as she shakes, I want you all to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
my
strongest
God.
though.
That's my
Oh,
natural 20.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yay! Finally, I rolled one. Woo! That would give me a 25. Callie is
Yeah.
very good at that.
Dirty 20 for me. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Oh.
Avren?
18.
18. So everyone except for poor Sophia's, you manage to react as this happens and either get your arms up or dive out of the way. But she lets her whole body like shake and mud and muck goes flying everywhere. And this completely covers you, Sofieus. So basically you are now encased. You can spend a bonus action on your turn to get the mud out of your face and eyes. Otherwise, you'll have a disadvantage on attack rolls until you do so. And then she will bite at Freely, since that's who she was talking to.
I'm a spicy meatball.
Okay.
I'm okay for now. Iron Avren.
Yeah, I know, but you go from
Um,
okay to not okay in seconds.
16?
It's true. How much, sorry?
Does a 16 hit?
16 is exactly enough to hit, and I'm super gonna hellish rebuke her. Yep.
Okay, so you
Super
take 8 damage.
Okay. Anything else I need to save, or is she gonna try and
No.
swallow me or anything? Okay.
No.
She needs a Dex 13,
All right.
or she gets hellish rebuked no matter what. It's
Right,
just,
just take half damage.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I rolled an 11, so it'll be full damage.
Hey, my favorite words. All right. So the digital dice are not wanting to do the thing. Cool. I got her for 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, she leaps at Freely and manages to like barely glance against his like ankle as he's like kind of diving out of the way of the muck and then of her bite. And as she does this, she manages to catch a bit of you, but your crooked little finger points out behind you and you smell just like the sizzling, crackling smell of that sweet sound of flesh burning.
Give her our ancestral halfling gesture.
And then it is Sophia's turn.
Sophius is still within her grasp, right?
Not in her grasp. You're more like covered in mud. It's like that scene from Jurassic Park where you have like muck that's like on you and it's sticky and it's gross and it's obstructing your vision.
Smells disgusting. She's gonna pull up a glass jar full of green liquid from her belt and remove a circular utensil, and she's going to blow an acid bubble at her.
Okay.
Which is, she'll have to make a dex save of 13 or higher.
Okay. She makes it with a 22.
Not my lucky day.
You already burned up that 20.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you used the 20 early.
I started too strong. But I'm glad that somebody benefited from it though.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No.
All right. And then it is Avren's turn.
Yeah, I punch.
Punch.
What's a punching?
One of my one of my gauntlets just powers up and lightning starts surrounding it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try to do this thing. I'm not supposed to be doing that. I am being the silly boy. And I'll do it. 23.
Okay, that hits.
I'm gonna go and roll damage, and ooh, it's an 8 plus 2, total of 10, and now it has disadvantage on attacking anyone but me till the end of my turn.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. So I try to just crack in what is kind of a face.
Yeah, yeah. So you move up to where her head was like kind of nipping it freely.
Yeah, and
Okay.
just punch her in the snout.
Perfect.
If
Yeah, she
if
reacts.
you were like wanting to eat someone, you can try to eat me and then die. So let's do that.
And then it's Callie's turn.
He's mostly salt and grizzle.
So when this
True.
when this creature reared up and shook a bunch of viscera at us, do we now see the entire creature? I'm still holding the lantern.
Yes, a lot more of it is now like revealed to you. You
And it
see
is-
like jutting bone ridges underneath flesh that is almost pulled taut, kind of jutting out amongst the muck that is at your feet.
And it is just a big giant snake. There's no other weird appendages. There's not a stinger. There's not a...
No, not that you can see.
Okay.
Well, there
Kelly-
wasn't.
It has 8 legs.
Listen.
Spider
The
Scorpion
other
Stinger
end
thing.
of it is also a head.
Inexplicably a head and a stinger. Wow.
Heads.
I'm getting the
connected
impression
in
that
the
Callie
middle
has a
with the
little
body.
PTSD.
You have no idea how it poops, but here we are.
Listen, I do not need to know its full anatomy. I just want to know where exactly I should
I
be
know,
throwing
I'm
my
sorry, I
knives.
just had to.
I feel like
it's-
that Sophius needs to know.
She's kind of fascinated.
We'll carve it up later.
One other brief question.
Mhm.
You said that the head was kind of coming. Is it coming out of like a hole, a passage, or was it just so encased in darkness that we couldn't see the rest of the body?
Yeah, you can't really tell the length of her. You
Okay.
surmise that she is coiled up and contorted herself in a lot of ways around the entire cavern is what is dawning on you now.
Perfect. Okay. So the reason Callie was asking that is because she's still holding the lantern and was considering throwing her flask of oil and setting the whole place on fire. But knowing that now, that seems like a super bad idea because escaping needs to happen. So instead, if you'll allow it, I'm going to say with that natural 20 dexterity, she dodges by like deftly putting the lantern down so that everybody can see everything that's going on, like
Yeah.
almost calmly getting up, and she wants to move over to the side and start throwing her knives.
Okay.
So first knife is a natural 1. So nope.
No.
Nope.
It
she
flies
was-
wide.
Yeah, and it, into nothing. And then the second knife is much better. 15?
That hits.
Okay. So, ooh, that's gonna be 9. It's gonna be 19 psychic damage.
Okay.
Because I've got friends nearby, so I get my sneak attack, and I
oh,
just
crap. That's right. Yeah.
oh crap, I get sneak attack. Ah,
No, but even on the bonus, that's what's nice. Yeah.
yeah,
it's
you get it once per turn.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
if I
that's nasty.
it's nice. Yeah, and she's not going to be near the head, but she will move around so that she's a little closer to the entrance that we came down to be ready to flee
Yeah.
when it is time.
And as this like psychic knife sinks its way into her undead flesh, you hear her give out like a bellowing like shriek.
do
And
I
she
hear it also
hisses.
in my head?
No, it's just an audible one.
Okay.
Yeah.
After the were dial did it, I think Kelly's on edge waiting for that to happen. And that's it.
Freely, it is your turn.
So far, with the exception of Callie's one wide knife, everybody that has tried to hit it has hit it, right?
Yes.
At least that I've observed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I didn't hit it.
I mean, but did you attack
I
and
meant
miss?
like I was gonna say it's not really an
Yeah,
attack throw.
right.
It was
Yeah,
more
no,
like
she
I did.
saved,
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. Okay. No, I'm weighing in my own mind whether or not I drop this fairy fire on her or not. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna cast fairy fire.
Can
okay.
you cast it in a way that doesn't get the rest of us though?
Yeah.
You're all kind of in close quarters.
Oh yeah, I suppose it would get it all.
In your head, you hear Callie say, Freely, it was bad enough that you gave away my stealth. If you make me even easier to hit, I am going to be very perturbed.
You know what? I'll just show you how to be sneaky because you're not as good at it as I am. But okay, that's fine. I won't do it. Fine.
We will have a discussion about this later.
Ironically
Freely, I'm
enough,
sorry for covering you in butter before, but please don't do that.
stealth and persuasion are the only things he's good at, honestly. Then I will just blast her again.
Okay.
I will save my other things. There's no mecha. Can I give up half of my movement to help Sofieus to her feet? Is Sofieus still? No, Sofieus was never prone.
Yeah.
Can I use if I blast her, can I use one of my bonus actions to try and help her? Use my bonus action to help her?
Yes, you could do that because you're already standing pretty close to her.
Yeah, because I was expressly trying to be there, like, should this thing attack her? So I rolled that is a crit because that Hexblade cursed her because I got a 19. GG.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm gonna Eldritch Blast her for oops. That's not helpful. All right, 9, 14, 18, 26 points of damage.
Wow.
Wow, okay.
And then, hey, I'm aiming for the nose. Avren softened it up for me.
Mhm.
And so it's basically like, and then with my sword, I'm like, trying to get the stuff off of stuff. I'm like, don't move.
Like it's sticky and it's gross, but you managed to scrape it off of her carefully.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you
Um,
so much.
That looks like
I'm going to need a
raccoon.
shower after this.
I'll
And as
prestidigitate you. It's fine.
No, thank you.
And you launch an Eldritch Blast at her. She reels and she lets out. It's almost like a rattle shaking, like a snake's rattle, as you feel the whole room move as she begins to move. And she lets out this like long hiss. And as she does this, you feel. Let's see if she can make it.
I told you we could have talked.
16. Oh wait, it's with disadvantage.
Yes, with disadvantage.
15.
No, she needed
15 does
16.
not hit. Okay.
Just like
So you see her tail kind of like whip around you, like the very small thin end of it, and then you manage to get out of it. And then with her second action, she will. Oh, that's a. Okay, never mind. I could do a third thing. She will bite at Avren. 19.
19 hits, but I'm going to cast shield.
Okay.
Be a jerk. So that's gonna be a total of 20. Wait, 19, 24, right? Yeah, 5 plus
Okay.
19. Yeah.
So she then lashes out at you, and then her teeth almost like you see her fangs that about to hit you, and then they kind of meet this like invisible wall and stop. And she like shrieks in anger, and then she almost emits this like weird miasma. It comes out of her very pores. Her very skin vibrates. The whole room vibrates, and it's almost like just a sigh, like a physical sigh. It's just like, and as she does this, I'll need you all to make a Constitution save with a DC of 12.
Is this poison?
It's madness.
Oh, okay.
It's madness.
Madness.
It's madness.
I only ask because I get advantage on
Snake
those
madness.
saving. I got a 15.
A 15, perfect.
I got a 6.
I got exactly
I got 21 total, actually. I love having math done for me. Thank you, D&D Beyond. Plug.
Exactly 12.
Mm.
So I rolled a physical dice, just FYI, and I got 5. And I wish that I had used the digital dice on D&D Beyond.
True. We've
Perfect
learned.
advertisement.
Mhm.
These dice are going into dice jail.
So you as you like you see it, the whole room kind of shudder as this effect happens, Sofieus. And then at the end of it, everything seems almost normal for a moment. And then it hits you. Every bad memory you've ever had, every bad experience you've ever had, and all of a sudden you feel that you are alone in the dark, just you and this single lone snake. Its almost sickly green eyes glaring down at you. Make a charisma saving throw.
$15.
Okay. So thankfully, I'll have that cut the duration of this in half. You feel locked in this beast's gaze. Like you are alone, cold, and naked in the dark, and it's just you and this snake. And you feel yourself unable to do anything.
Avren, what? I can't move. Is anybody in here?
You hear her calling out as though you're not there. Freely, you probably are the first to notice it since you're the closest.
Hang on. I think we lost Sofieus, you guys. And I very much step in between Sofieus and the snake. Well, it's not my turn, but that's yeah. I do call out that I realize this, though. Yes.
If I call out to her through the psychic link, will she? Sofieus, can you hear me? Are you okay? Does
She can hear you, but she can't see you.
Callie, is that you? Where are you? I don't see anybody.
I'm not sure why you cannot see any of us, but we are all still here. I don't know how much time.
It's hard for you. Yeah, it's not your turn to see. But I mean, like you could get that message through. Sofieus, you can hear everyone, and none of this makes sense to you because you can't see everyone. It almost feels like a bad nightmare or a bad trip. However, it is your turn. So you can still attempt to do something. You'll just be doing so with disadvantage.
She's going to, with her fingers, just draw a dome, like a glowing dome over her. And she casts Sanctuary on herself, so that the thing that's attacking me will have to make a wisdom saving throw of 13.
Okay.
Or she'll have to move on to another target or lose her attack or spell.
Okay. So as this happens, this is an AoE, correct?
It's
right, isn't it? Or is it just on you?
It's just on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Freely, you see like this like dome kind of form over Sofieus, and you notice she looks terrified. But she does look safe. And with that, it is Avren's turn.
Stressed out.
Yeah, I don't react well to that. How close is this thing to Sofieus?
Not very close. Its mouth is closer to you. Its tail is closer to Freely and Sofieus.
Where is Callie right now? Is she like throwing knives?
Yeah, she's throwing knives and she's a little bit further back.
Callie, I very much need you to protect Sofieus. And I say, Sofieus, everything's fine. We're all here. This is all in your head. It's gonna be okay. And then we're not gonna let this happen again. And I punch it again.
Okay.
Am I within 5 feet of her though? Can I be within 5 feet of her and be punching this thing?
Within 5 feet of Sofieus?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could move there, I think. Yeah.
And still punch it? Punch the creature? Okay, punch it and then move back.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm going to be trying. I'm going to punch it and then move back. Avren looks visibly upset, more so than usual. And does an 18 hit?
Yes.
All right, it still has disadvantage on attacks against anyone else. I'm going to roll damage, and the damage is 3.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, three thunder damage.
And with that, it is Callie's turn.
So he's moved next to her.
Mhm.
Yes.
Sofieus, are you protected? What is that magic that you've just cast?
It will help me. If this thing tries to hit me, she will have to try very hard. It will not be easy.
Excellent. That will help. You said the tail is closer to Sofieus?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to produce both of my knives, and I would like to jump and melee, just plow them both into the tail. So
Okay.
It's the same thing. It's the same attack. I'm just doing it. Nope. That's a 1. So one of them, I'm still in the process of talking with Sophie. Are you sure you're okay?
distracted. Yeah. Mhm.
The second one I rolled a 19 on, though.
Okay, so the second one does hit.
All right. So that
Everyone, we
will
take away all your books.
do 6 and it's gonna be 15 psychic damage.
Okay. So as the
And-
second blade sinks into her flesh, she almost lets out a shriek and she very quickly starts like moving around the room. The way she moves changes. She almost starts to submerge herself in the muck and the mire, and you can only see like the spines of her vertebrae as she starts to spin around. Is
Does
there
she
anything else you wanna do?
leave my range?
No.
No, so I was just hoping to go after the tail. If she's submerged, now that I've watched this creature attack a couple of times, do I think she's going to do another one of those rear up and fling us all with poo?
You're not sure.
All right. I will continue to stand opposite of where Avren is to like cover the other side of Sofieus, and where I can also still keep an eye on Freely, and I'm done.
Okay. And with that, it's Freely's turn.
I just yell out, "Come on, Avren, we got this!" Bardic inspiration for him.
Okay.
And I am going to. She's moving. You say. I'm going to hold on to my limited spells for now and just blast her again. Was an 18 enough to hit?
Yes.
Oops, sorry. 17 is a 17 enough to hit.
Also yes.
Okay.
You will be attacking with disadvantage though, because she's currently submerged.
Oh, I can't see anything at all.
It's more of like you can see like she's moving very quickly, and you can only see like the vertebrae poking out from the gore.
The second one would have been a 25. Actually, though, no, I already said I was going to do that. So yes, then 25.
Okay, yeah, that definitely hits.
And sorry, one would have been 17, one would have been 25. Even with disadvantage, I hit.
It still hits. Yes.
In 10 points of damage.
Okay, perfect.
Really's killing it.
Yeah,
Literally.
Freely's doing a lot of damage.
Literally.
Literally. I said we can help you. She didn't want to listen, so here we are. Okay. And, other than that, I'm waiting for my opportunity. So yes, that's it for me.
So as she spins around, You feel the ground become like shaky or uneven beneath you. And you see her sink even lower into the muck. And let's see. Disadvantage. Oh, okay. Freely. Does a 21 hit?
Not to be meta, but can I see the source of the attack? Because I'm capable of casting shields. So pending what I think is me, I might cast a shield. So what's coming towards me?
Coming from behind.
I'll put my shield up. Yeah. So then that would make my AC is 21 with my shield up. What'd you say? What hit me?
21. Right?
Oh,
yeah. No, I did.
Then I'm not gonna put my shield up because it doesn't matter.
Wait, I said two. I rolled two numbers and I forgot what the second one was because it was with disadvantage.
I think you said 21.
I think you said 21 as well.
I apologize. So I'm not gonna throw up my shield. It doesn't matter. But if she touches me, I'm going to hellish rebuke her. So yes, that is a hit.
That is fine.
She might get blasted.
Y'all throw so many numbers at me. So everything seems almost like quiet for a moment because you feel like this rumble. You feel the very ground shake beneath you, and you see like the spine sink deeper and deeper and deeper. And then all of a sudden, almost shooting out of the muck, you just see the maw, and it grabs Freely and pins him. And as it does so, it deals 12 damage.
Okay.
And pins him.
Freely is looking beat up, and I need but brave, resolute, and she needs to beat a Dex 13, or my dice are delayed. A Dex 13 or take 17. Well, 17 is what I lay out on the hellish rebuke.
Okay. I got a 15.
Okay, so I guess half of that. So
okay, so that's what, 8.
8. Yeah.
Yes, 8.
Flame.
So as it pins you, you hellish rebuke it. She shrieks. This thing looks beat up. She was already looked like skin stretched taut over a skeleton, and now she looks like a roasted skin stretched taut over a skeleton. And she also, you feel her tail start to tickle around your ankles, Callie. A 17?
That hits.
Is that with disadvantage? 17 still?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I smacked it with the thunder.
The second one's 18.
That hits even more.
So let's see. You're going.
I'm going to use my reaction to put my body in front of Callie.
Okay.
You are supposed to be protecting your wife.
I am by making the death machine that you are alive. So go death machine.
7, 9. So as you insert your body between yours and Callie's, because you see this tail start to whip up against Callie, it wraps around you instead as you push her out of the way, and you feel the bones almost start to push into your body because this is a bony snake. You take 9 damage and you are grappled. However, I think you can take it. I'm just saying. I feel like if anybody was gonna get a bony snake protrusion wrapped around them, Avren is the best candidate for
Avren's
it.
the one. Yeah, Avren's the one who would have that happen.
It's not a fight unless a giant creature tries to grab Avren with a maw, with a tail, with something, right?
Yeah. She lets out another groan, and she seems almost desperate as she grapples with Freely in her mouth. And she says, "Submit." And then it is Sofieus' turn.
Never.
Sofieus, you are still alone in the dark.
Do I see this snake creature?
You do, but it almost feels like it's phantom-like to you, because what you're seeing is a different version of reality than what everyone else is seeing. The snake has almost grown 3 times in size. It looks magnificent, plump, juicy, and it is almost I can only describe it with my hand. It's almost reared up, and its gaze is just locked on yours, and you feel like you are alone in the dark. with just this thing glaring down on you. But you do have your sanctuary around you.
Okay. And I can still move, right? Like I'm not paralyzed.
You can't move. You feel like you are locked in its gaze.
If only we had a weasel.
Random.
I had a plan, but if I can't move,
You can cast in place.
So Sofieus she feels like there's a lot of weight like all over her, like she's underwater, right? So she like kind of lifts up her staff and like tries to shove some butter in there and aims it at the snake and says, "Why won't you just die, you stinky, slithery poop snake?" And cast grease on her.
This is an AoE though, right?
This is an AoE.
Yeah, are you
but
sure?
She can't
Yeah,
see
but
you.
Yeah, she can't see us.
Doesn't think
she's
we're there.
stricken by madness.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you see like what the rest of the party sees is Sofieus like trembling and like trying to be brave in the face of great danger and great monstrosity. And you see her like put on a brave face, and then all of a sudden you just see butter come flooding through the chamber, and that wonderful noxious smell of decaying flesh and butter, which is a great, honestly great sizzling, beautiful smell,
Yum.
rises up to your nostrils.
It's the name of
How does
my
Grease
chapter.
work again? I think everyone has to make a dex check
I'm so sorry.
or be knocked prone.
Does this look like that scene from The Shining,
Yeah.
only with butter?
It's
A little
Dex
bit.
Dex
Okay.
13.
Dex
Roll higher than a
13.
13, everyone.
To be clear, I know this thing is biting me. Am I grappled? Am I prone? Like, am I already prone? Or am I just like wrestling with it?
Yeah.
19.
So you're just knocked prone, and the snake is
Okay.
above you.
Okay. So I
Avren is
guess I don't
grappled.
I don't need to save.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great.
Yeah, I got 19.
Okay.
I got an 8. I'm trying to protect Sophia, so I have my back to
Full
her.
baby deer. Full baby deer.
So poor Callie slips and falls face first in the muck. Oh, I got a nat 20.
Oh my god, someone gets a legendary bundle.
Like the snake is sliding faster now. It's all like, ooh.
Oh god.
Of
looks
all
like we're
the
in a-
rolls to get a nat 20 on, I'm happy it was the butter
gross.
save.
Agreed. Yeah. Speaking as the person that is in your mouth with not many hit points, I'm gonna agree with that.
And she
Sure.
like, you feel her like almost get emboldened, even though she seemed desperate a moment before. And you feel her laugh, her like almost shuddering laugh above you freely as she says, seasoning for my meal. And then it is Avren's turn.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's seasoning maybe for our meal. And I cast magic missile into its face.
Okay.
Nice.
And first one's a 2. So sad. And then the next magic missile, just they rapid fire 1, 2, 3. 5 points of damage in the next one.
Okay.
And then 4 on the next. So for a total of 10 points of force damage, and just shoot into its head.
Okay. You see her reel, and at this moment, she like affixes her attention to you, still hovering over Freely's body, and she hisses, and you see her long forked tongue like slip out between her mouth and come back. And that smell that is it's like sickly sweet, like permeates out of it. And then it is Callie's turn. Callie.
All right.
She looks like she's struggling.
I'm going to stand up. So it's a dex save of what again?
To stand up, I think you just have to take an action to stand up
It's like half
with
movement.
Grease. Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if Grease made me do another dex check to stand.
Oh gosh, Grease is such a weird spell.
I don't think so.
Well, I just
I think you
rolled-
just have to use I think
Half my
you just
movement.
stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I rolled a dexterity saving throw and I got a dirty 20, so I think that was enough anyway. So she's gonna stand up. She's gonna do that. Cool
Yes,
thing.
that is enough. Okay, so it says it must also succeed on dexterity throw if you enter an area or end your turn in that area.
Well, I'm gonna be ending my turn.
So
'cause
you're
everybody
still
is.
fine.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna stand up. She's gonna do that cool thing where she whips her legs around and just like spins up.
Ooh, very nice.
Ooh.
pulling her knives out of nowhere and launching both of them at this creature's eyes as she is trying to continue to kill it quickly.
Oh my God, this is so gross. This is
yes,
awesome.
except the knives are not covered in butter, and there's a part of Callie that's actually upset by this. 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so this will be the one with sneak attack. It's going to be a 17 psychic
Okay.
damage.
All right.
And then my second knife is going to be a 12.
Okay. It doesn't hit, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
As this psychic knife goes through one side of her temple and then through the other, she falls dead to the ground, releasing Avren and relinquishing. I guess she kind of lands on Freely. Yes, because she was above.
Hellish rebuke her anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get it off me, Thunder
Yeah,
Wave.
she lands on Freely with like a crushing weight. Her skeleton is heavier than you would imagine.
Okay, so if
I walk up to the skull, like slowly pry it off of, but not a
Mhm.
lot. I don't want to pry it all the way off of Freely. So,
Yeah.
how's that whole tanking thing going for you right now?
She's dead, right? You're
Is there-
welcome.
I put the skull back on him.
Is there
I just,
anything else?
Drop it heavily on top of Freely.
Mhm.
Is there anything else in the room? And has Sofieus come out of her space now that this creature is dead?
Sofieus is still in the
Oh, no.
grasp. She still
Still?
seems to be alone in the dark. And for a brief second, as you like drop the skull back on Freely's body, you see the eyes glitter or almost light up like someone turning on a dead light, and you hear like her voice very weakly before they fade again, and she says, "I die, I live, I die again. The Pale Walker will carry me to the great beyond. Await my return." And her lights go out.
Yeah, I'll be here. Be waiting.
Am I free now?
Well, this is going to be a nice little thing that I wanted to do, and I'm really happy you're crazy to do it.
Welcome to D&D.
Yeah.
So as you are still trapped in your madness, like you and only you, Sofieus, see the large snake kind of wither away and like fall weak. And you know how I was saying it was like looked plump and strong and
Mhm.
virile. It grows like faint and almost like a translucent, like it's a vision, or it's made out of fog, and it becomes smaller in stature and smaller and smaller and smaller until it's the size of a normal snake in front of you, and you no longer feel paralyzed by its grasp.
None of this was real, was it?
And she says to you in a weaker voice, she says, "No, you are free to leave." And it is at this moment that you become aware that there is a almost blinding white door behind you.
First, she's gonna step on the snake,
The snake lets out like a hiss.
try to crush it. Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
That door, that blinding white door, I don't trust it. Like, I feel
Mhm.
inclined to walk through it,
Yeah.
but I'm just not sure about it. I rolled a 14.
Okay. So the door almost feels like it's calling to you. In this place that's full of darkness and almost evil, the door feels like sanctuary. It feels warm and light and inviting.
I'm gonna walk through the door,
Okay. And
but
as
very
you
slowly.
walk through the door, you are back with your friends.
Oh, phew.
And
Avren, is everybody
I-
okay? She
yeah,
runs
I
over
run-
to
I-
Avren and gives him a big hug and like gets poop all over him.
Yeah, I rush over to her, almost stepping on Freely's neck while I'm doing
If he does, I
so.
hellish rebuke him.
It's very on brand. Yeah, and I hug Sofieus and rethink a lot of decisions. Yeah.
as I see her moving and come to, I'll move to Freely's side and try to push the snake off push the head off of him, and it's gonna be a lot more difficult for me to do because I have 0 strength. But hopefully once I can get it rocked off, then I want to grab my lantern again and take a really close look around. I'm looking for more creatures that might be hiding in the darkness. I don't trust that this thing is it.
Yeah. As you like pry the skull off of Freely, the cave seems silent, but it still hums with the energy of life, of vibrancy.
There is still something here, and this is wrong. I've heard of these kind of creatures before in the histories that I have read, and there is something very wrong with everything here. This is not... We need to search this place, and we need to alert everybody of what is going on, and maybe I need to dissect this creature as well, but is everybody okay?
Really, you look like you're really hurt.
Oh no, Freely gets to his feet. He's like very much beat up and like bloody and things, but he's like, okay. And he just starts Eldritch blasting this corpse until there's nothing left. Just
after the first or second one, Freely, can you hold on a second? I would like to examine it more to figure out what this thing is.
Examine quickly.
I will pull out one of my real knives.
Thank you.
And stand in front of Freely and try to go after the head. I want to dissect the head. I want to dissect the eyes. I want to know what this thing is as much as possible.
That would take a very long time.
I will take as much time as Freely will allow.
If I see that she's like diligently working on the head by the time I get to it, like I'll start at the tail and just my goal is to nothing left of this. So by the time we get to the head, I would stop. And then I will prestidigitate Sofieus so she's clean, even though the rest of us are filthy.
Oh, that is so much better. What about you?
Let me get that for you.
Well, here, this is all I have. And she hands him a healing elixir.
Oh man. Oh, yeah.
It's only good for 3 hit points, but it's something.
It absolutely is, considering 3's what I had left.
3 more than what you had before.
Double.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true. It counts. Ooh.
And if,
And
then I do start. Sorry.
She's also going to say Sanitatum and cast Healing Word on Freely. That is an extra 4 hit points. Or actually, sorry, 7 hit points.
Hey, thank you. And then I do start 7 more, you say?
Yeah.
I do start searching the cave, like to see what the source of this is or where it goes, even if it was like how far this creature could have traveled. Because the path we saw where something had been through the mud, did that look like, was it roughly the size of this thing, or was it roughly the size of the Weredile, or was it something else?
It was roughly the width of the Weredile, but it seemed like it was used very frequently. So you can't be sure that it wasn't used by both. It had almost become like a trench because of frequent use. So in this room now that we kind of have a minute to observe, like how many caves does it look like come off of this? There's only a couple of branches that come off of it.
Do any of them seem like they point in the direction of Port Argent?
Like they don't go very deep, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
So like if you were to go down it, it doesn't lead indefinitely to somewhere.
Got it. Well, I'm going to be investigating, but I let them know like I'm looking this way, and then I like go as far as I can. And
okay, yeah.
If I hit a wall, I come back. Yeah. So
as you go into like one of these like offshoots, you find eggs.
I don't even tell him. I just start Eldritch blasting.
Okay.
I don't even say, like, you guys just see down the hall, just flashes.
Yeah, egg yolk flies.
Oh
everywhere.
god.
the real knife gets dropped, the psychic knives come out, and I'm booking because he's Eldritch blasting. There must be
you're muted, Todd.
something.
You're muted, Todd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sofieus is running down that tunnel too. What? I hear you attacking. Is everybody okay?
There's
No,
green
it's
yolk everywhere, and there's like thin lines of like the hanging from the ceiling of like the snotty-esque texture of raw eggs.
Sofieus, you don't want to cook them. You don't want to try it. I didn't. I'm saving you from you. Okay.
Nope. Let's save one. It will be fun. Listen, you never know what you can make of an egg.
Just collecting all the stuff dripping from the ceiling.
When that hatches in your house and all of this starts over again, I want you to know I tried to destroy the eggs.
Trust me, it wouldn't be the worst thing to hatch out of our house.
Avren, give me a luck roll.
What?
That's something I always do.
Oh, gross. We're washing our groceries and my Pepsi tastes like Pepsi and a little bit like palm olive.
I know that feel.
Carbonated palm olive.
I got a luck roll is this rolling D20?
Yeah. Just roll a D20.
Yeah, I got a 13.
Got 13.
Is that lucky or unlucky? It's 13.
I'm gonna see.
If it's me, it's lucky.
Freely, you give me a luck roll as well.
Remember, I am a halfling. I have halfling luck.
Yes.
I also got a 13.
Wait, what does halfling luck do?
I just re-roll all once. It's just halflings are lucky though.
I feel like in a tie you should win though.
I mean,
that's my interpretation of halfling luck. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but I just feel like if in it, because you got to draw, that it would go to Freely. So I'm gonna rule that way because I'm the DM and I get to make the rules.
Fair enough.
As if he needed more proof.
The only explanation ever required was that. Yes.
So Freely, you have successfully smashed all the eggs by the time Avren gets there. They're utterly obliterated. As he comes in and says, no, save one. And you say, no, you don't want it later. You almost as he reaches out for another egg, you almost say like, oops, and let another one
No, I'd shoot it out the hand though. When he's like, no, save one.
I hope the yolk explodes all over my face. Like, I hope it's like this very like,
and it's a
Prometheus moment. I hold up the egg. I'm like, very interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you there, buddy. No.
And as it sprays out, you notice that the yolk, like I said, is like almost like a green color, and it's very large. And there's a large number or a large amount of the egg white. It just like sprays everywhere.
Well, cow cookies. I wanted to be able to investigate all of this. Are you going to just destroy everything before I get the chance?
I grab her by the face and I pull it in, like just face to face, and I'm like, if it's evil, yes. And then I leave and I go down the next hallway, like still looking for more things.
Except you're still psychically connected to me. And so in your head, you hear very irked Callie saying, yes, and if we encounter one of these again, wouldn't you like to know a better way of being able to dispose of it? Wouldn't you like to know for certain whether these eggs were actually a part of this creature, or maybe they were eggs that they were collecting from other creatures, and we were going to be returning them to another creature who now no longer has young? Wouldn't you like to know?
Every once in a while when she can't see me, I just start blasting like I'm destroying something else, just expressly to like irritate her.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
I would have walked back to the head at this point and just been carving away, muttering under my breath in gnomish.
Freely, listen, I brought you here for a reason. You're my second favorite warlock. Sort of, maybe third at this point.
Third is favorite.
But
I'm going to have to make another cake.
I'm not saying we're family, but we've got to work together. And sometimes we have to investigate evil things and not kill them right away. And sometimes evil is subjective, or evil is evidence. I have been evil before. And I'm not evil now. For now.
You probably don't remember this because, the you I knew never got his hands dirty. He just sent us to terrible places. But there was this big old cave, and there were these like weird chicken things, and they came out of eggs, and we tried to be cool, and then they hatched, and like almost a lot of people died. So that thing said it was coming back, and it has eggs, and I don't care. So
I think I'm going to have to agree with Freely on this one because you did not see what I saw. You all disappeared. I could hear you. And the snake froze me.
Can I make an Arcana check on what happened to her at all?
Yeah, I do very much stop and start.
Disturbed by what happened to her.
Yeah, I stop and start listening when she tells me this too.
I'm gonna go ahead and do.
Are you saying it out loud, or are you saying it through the psychic connection?
What I said?
No, well, any of this, but specifically when Sophia starts talking about what happened to her, like, have you moved back into the room where the snake is, or are you over
I thought we were all standing next to each other where Freely had exploded those eggs.
I got a 14 on Arcana.
Okay. From what you can glean and from what Sophia's describes to you, you understand this to be some sort of hallucinogenic effect.
If I was still the person I was, would I have been able to stop it?
You're not sure.
Okay.
I've gone back into the other room and I am pounding away at the head again.
Yeah, I searched this place again. I know you said there's only a couple of caves. I mean, now that I found the eggs, I'm like more resolute. In fact, even if I don't see anything, I really do shoot up the other ones because maybe they're hidden. Maybe it's a little under the dirt, like everywhere.
Yeah.
If I don't, yeah, I'm trying to be thorough.
So as you're walking around, you're like, Eldritch blasting?
Within reason. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
cause a cave in, but I'm like, this looks eggy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as you're like walking around and like blasting stuff, towards the end of the second tunnel that's offshoot, you find the corpse of a different creature.
This I do call out before I just start destroying things.
No.
I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be a team player. I'm not going to destroy this one before you look at it. What manner of creature does it appear to be?
It's very large. It has almost webbed hands. And it looks very similar to it looks almost close to the Weredile you saw earlier, except this one is not draped in the remains of its dead brethren. Yeah, you can tell from some of the plumage on it that it maybe is a different gender.
Does it appear to be dead?
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay.
And for a while.
I'd like to come over and examine it and see if I could figure out how it died.
Give me a medicine check.
And can I see if I know what such a creature is?
Okay.
I've been a lot of places.
Yeah, give me a nature check.
I got a 21.
So from your understanding, this creature passed from a wound it obtained and then slithered back down in here to die quietly, essentially. You're not sure if it was from hunting another animal or if it was from a hunter hunting it, but it has like a large laceration on its underside. And from what you can tell, it basically dragged itself down here to await its demise.
Do I recognize what kind of creature might have caused the wound?
Something sharp, something long. You can't determine further than that what it could be.
18 to figure out what this is. However, I would cash that in, having been on the receiving end of the man's sword that we all fought, the large bronze sword. Does this wound look consistent with that? Because it was an unusual weapon. Remember the sacred place? Let me look up dude's name. The guy we killed and brought back to life. He had a particularly large bronze curved weapon.
Yes.
Does this wound look consistent with that weapon?
There's no way to be sure. There's no way you could tell. It looks like it's some manner of implement. It looks like it could be a claw. But it looks like if it was attacked by something with a claw, then that thing was very precise with where it attacked. It does look more like a blade than it looks like something from an animal, however, because there's no other marks on it. It looks really clean. And as far as what nature of the animal is, it almost looks like a very large axolotl. You know what those are?
I really like axolotls. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know what that is. What is that?
They're adorable in real life. Like they're very adorable.
I'll have to look one up, but
yeah, it's oh gosh, how do I describe it? It's like it's got like these fins that come out from its head and they're like kind of webbed, and it has a really derpy face that looks like someone drew it on with like a
They
pen.
look like they're
There's
smiling.
no other
like
way
it's,
to
it's,
describe
it's,
it.
it's adorable. Yeah.
okay.
They
It
look
looks like someone retouched a Renaissance painting.
yeah, it's got like this like
That's so accurate.
that type of a face.
Okay. This is probably the thing that I'll recognize when I see it, but okay.
You make a really good D&D companion.
Hmm.
Apparently not. Yeah.
Not this
this-
one though.
For this thing,
Not
actually,
this one.
And I was wrong. Axolotls actually don't have web toes because I was like just looking up an image. I could have swore they did. I guess
thought
their
they did
back
too.
feet are kind of webbed.
You know
Their
what? This
front
one
feet
does
don't
though.
look
Hey,
very
you're the
webbed at all.
DM.
Yeah,
this
Web
one's
toes if you
webbed.
want to.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the rare web-toed cave axolotl. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
I actually would like to bury this creature. Carefully inspect it, make sure there's not like an arrowhead or something in it that like
Mhm.
might be relevant. But if otherwise, I would actually I'd like to bury it.
Okay.
Is
Well,
this?
very
I don't
kind
know.
of
What's the soil? I mean, does it seem buryable? I mean, it's
The ground is pretty hard, but there's enough mud that has been tracked in and out of here that I would surmise that there's a way for you to create some type of mound for it. It's not the most I don't know how to describe it. It's not the most like ornate structure, but you could cover its body. Yeah.
got it. Mud, some rocks. You know, just some dignity to this poor thing. And
Yeah.
then I turn around and I say, you guys, I really have one question. That thing was clearly starving, but not eating any of this. Why?
It doesn't eat meat.
What does it eat?
That's a good question.
I don't know. If you have not destroyed the stomach, I could find out, and I will go back to the creature and continue my dissection.
Oh.
I will
I
destroy
don't
the
know if
stomach
it
of every
needs to
evil
eat.
creature. Yeah.
I would prefer you would destroy the stomach after it has been examined. That would be where we would both benefit from this. And yeah, I'll go back with my real knife and continue to carve away.
Okay. Do you want to? Yes, you have.
I was just gonna say, while she's doing this, I very much like after I build this like cairn to this creature, I sit down for a long rest, like right next to it, like ooh.
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask. I was like, do you want to do a long rest and inspect the creature or?
I think I'd like Sofieus and I to go upstairs, up the hill. I mean, the hole.
And not be in this like wretched, stinky hole.
I still want to. I'm interested in what Callie is going to find, and I
Okay.
kind of want to
Okay.
collect
I'll-
some samples.
I'll hang
And then I'll
with
be right after.
Sofieus.
If
No,
if I
I will stick with Sofieus.
Okay.
if I notice that the two of them are looking uncomfortable, I'll say to Sophia's, I'll say, if you want to just let me know what samples you'd like me to collect, the two of you can definitely go up top. And then she'll eye Avren and then look back at you again and say, it'd probably be a good idea to have a lookout up top just in case more of these creatures arrive.
And I look at Avren.
I think she's safe with you. I'll go ahead and go up the tunnel for a moment.
Okay. We'll be right up.
Okay, go
Kelly-
safely.
Kelly, I would love if you find any guts with any food or anything that looks weird, anything that is still moving, maybe eyeballs, talons, if there are any.
Absolutely.
I want to know what this thing eats.
I do too.
So 8 hours pass. You all enjoy the benefits of a long rest.
Hey.
And these are the findings you come back with, Callie. You managed to find the creature's stomach. It is a lot of flesh you have to go through. It is a very large creature.
I thought for a second you were just gonna say it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot there. There's just
Okay,
a lot
fair.
there. Pieces of it have been blown apart. And from what you can tell, the beast hasn't eaten in a long time. And what little bits it does have seem to be livestock.
Okay.
You find some hooves, you find like the odd horn or whatever. You think you may find a human hand in there, but you can't be sure. And most of it is very old and very petrified. And as you're kind of like looking through all of this, you also find it's like dried up, shriveled up droppings underneath like sort of the fresher meat on top.
Okay. And I do want to. This thing didn't have claws. I'm guessing it was just a snake. So, well, you never know.
It did not have arms. No.
Okay. I didn't know if they were hidden somewhere. I'll collect. I guess the tail's already gone. I'll collect the eyes. I'll collect the fangs if I still can.
Yeah.
And is there any other distinguishing features that looks like it would be helpful to show to somebody to be like, hey, we fought this thing?
The thing that you notice most are the fangs.
Okay. Yep.
They don't. The shape of them is pretty typical, but the coloration is very unique. They almost give off like a lavender hue, and they seem impossibly hard. Like you felt bone and teeth in your life before. You know what that feels like, that type of, what enamel feels like. And these feel almost like steel to you, to your touch.
All right. I will collect what I can, and then when I am done, I will clean myself off and ascend back up top.
Yeah. You find one more thing while you're like mucking through the guts. You do find underneath all of this like mud and in places where like your delvings have like brushed away most of the debris, you do find the remnants of like what seems to be chalk marks that someone has drawn on the floor.
Okay. That's of interest.
If she points this out to me, I can prestidigitate the mud away. Like,
yeah, I would. If you're down here with me, I would definitely.
Oh yeah, I slept down here.
Okay. Yeah, he was
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
on the cairn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll point this out. If it's been the full 8 hours, then my psychic link has gone away. So I'll just turn to you and say and be starting to brush away some of the mud and say, I was not expecting chalk to be down here. This is very odd.
Okay. What?
And you slurp it away. Give me an Arcana check, Freely.
Okay, good. Actually, my Arcana is pretty good. Can I assist with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I got a +3 to my Arcana.
Ooh, whoa, that's weird. My character sheet disappeared. Oh, hang on, sorry. That is a 15.
Okay. And then with Callie's 3, so 18?
18 then, I guess, yeah.
So you both kind of stand around the circle and suss it out. And Freely, you've been around. You're pretty well traveled. You haven't seen spells like this in a while. This is old, but it looks like a very old resurrection spell.
I call Avren if the link's not up. I literally am like, Avren, Sofieus.
Oh God.
I'm standing right here. Yes.
I head down.
Show it to him.
Do I haven't been around the block for a long time.
Yeah.
Recognize anything?
Yeah, you feel like you've seen this before. Some of the runes on it look familiar to you. They look like I said, like old methods of magic that haven't been used in a really long time, centered around life, around rebirth, around resurgence.
Okay.
Does
Yes.
it
Try to memorize them. And
does it seem like particularly powerful magic?
I don't know. What like let's say how do you try to figure that out? Do you try is it like a feeling in the air, or do you try to like use your
No, I mean pure arcana. I mean in Freely's life, I mean he's seen people that can lay their hands on someone and bring them back. That like can bring someone back with no body at all. So I mean like I've seen life magic.
Yeah, this feels like a step below that.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I memorize it, and so this is like really crappy magic.
Not really crappy, just old. There's
Just
better
old.
ways to do this now. It's kind of like using a flip phone.
Retro magic.
my
It
era,
accomplishes the same tasks.
We're
just
fighting
it's
very
still
much Avren's
functional.
first edition era of
Yeah.
existence.
hipster.
Like,
Yeah.
It's hipster necromancers. Now I'm angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody who did this was old fashioned.
It's like trying to
Someone
text on a Nokia.
You also
I-
don't get the sense that it's like I said, you don't get the sense that this is like necromantic magic. It doesn't give you that vibe at all. It feels the opposite of that. Like this was an actual true restoral of life.
well, this is either done by someone as old as me, or someone who has gotten the hold of magic as old as me, and it's not terribly efficient, all things considered. Obviously, given that we are in where we are, so someone's up to something.
Oh,
in this area.
remember those guys told us that was a sacred area where they would do like ceremonies for like life and rejuvenation. I mean, apparently that's just how it goes down in the area of Hinge.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Kalapator.
Mhm.
It seems odd that it would be here where this creature is, where these... Didn't she mention when she was threatening us that she had created the other werediles? Is it possible she was using this magic to create those creatures that were attacking people?
My bad.
I'm like, excuse me, my Yeti's too close to my tummy.
I'm sorry. I'm sinking into the mud and it's making weird noises.
Now that when Callie says it, I'm like, well, maybe this place wasn't always terrible. And I go around and I just start prestidigitating more to see if there's like any more
Yeah.
holy symbols, relics. Like, did this used to be like a temple before it became filthy? You know?
As you like move more and more of the mud away, you realize that you get the sense. Well, actually, give me a nature check. I feel like you'd figure it out though.
One would hope. That is also a 15.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say if you beat a 12. You feel like from the random little scuttlings and almost little foragings you found here, and even remnants of like life that used to live underneath here, like plant foliage and plant remains you found, you feel like this may have been the oxalotl's den. But the only strange thing about it is this is the largest oxalotl you've ever seen.
Right. And this theoretically should have been submerged in the rainy season too. Right?
Yes. At one point when this is full of water, it makes a lot more sense to you. Like
So when
how this would have worked.
When the snake lady was saying she is reborn, I'm kind of wondering if this ritualistic circle is how she's going to be reborn. So I want to use my alchemy jug and fill it up with acid and just pour it over that ritual circle.
Okay.
I want to make sure that she doesn't come back.
As you do this, the acid sizzles and spreads out across the now clean surface that Freely has cleaned, and the chalk dissolves and nothing remains.
Before we piece out of here, I go to I suppose a wall either that would have been like where she was hiding or somebody that came down this tunnel would be very obvious. And I take the time with my sword to sort of like carve into the wall. You're next. Love freely with a little heart after it.
Yeah.
What I like about that is it makes no sense because you're next. Love freely. Seems more like an affirmation.
Give your love freely.
No, I'm like, no. Let me give you a proper lesson in grammar here. So you see the comma. So that's an Oxford comma. That's why it's two different statements. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Do you know the people that we've run into the last 4 adventures? Do you think they care about your Oxford comma?
Well, they can't say I didn't warn them. All right.
As Freely is talking about his Oxford comma, Sofieus goes up and puts an apostrophe before the R and writes an E after it.
Look at that's like a weird dialect you guys speak here. Like that's not how we write it where I come. Where even are we, Avren? Like English, the common doesn't make sense, and then I go back up the tunnel on the way out.
Literally the furthest away from the brightest part of the D&D multiverse. I mean, the multiverse.
It's just none of this makes sense. And then go ahead, and then when I get to the
long
top,
rest,
you slip and slide, and you have a hard time getting up there, but you manage to get up with the help of the rope you put up earlier. It's tough though. It's tough going, but you took a long rest, so eventually you get up there.
Oh, I was wondering how we were going to get back up there now that nobody's holding onto the rope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume, for the sake of entertainment value, that you would figure out a way.
I have pitons and rope, and I know how to climb out of the ground.
Yeah. I tend to gloss over things that narratively aren't entertaining, or they're just.
Who doesn't like a good skill challenge to get out of a wet, muddy, gross, necrotic
Yeah, the end
hole?
result is going to be the same whether you fail repeatedly and then get out or succeed on your first try.
Wait,
So
is there anybody?
you get out over the course of 8 hours.
There you go.
Is Callie having an okay time getting up the hole?
I would assume that she's probably she's dexterous, but she's not strong, but she's used to this kind of thing. So it's slow. She's methodical.
You hear Callie, or you hear Sofieus behind Callie say, "Hey Callie, do you need a hand?" And she's like holding on to the hand that they found inside of the guts. She's like waving it at her.
I would be careful with that. I believe it is putrefied and it is probably going to stain.
Oh, lovely. And she puts it in her bag of holding.
Fair enough. When we get to the top, I'm assuming the horses are still around somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've wandered, but they're still within eyesight. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe they're in Buttermilk.
Garand, Winnie, and Buttermilk will never leave our sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once I see everybody and we get to the top, I'm gonna reconnect the psychic link. And I get the 3 of them and the 2 horses, not the third. I continue to not get that third horse. So
Yeah.
Winnie and Buttermilk. I am sorry we've been gone for so long. Thank you for waiting for us.
Even
Paws the ground
very...
impatiently.
Oh.
They look hungry and annoyed.
Girl, same.
I'm almost obsessively compulsively flipping a coin over and over and over again. I'm deeply disturbed by what happened to Sofieus.
I'm feeding them catfish right now. I don't even
I don't know that
do
horses
they like
eat
catfish?
Don't eat catfish.
I'm trying to feed it, and you need to eat something.
They're like,
No, it doesn't
like trying
smell
to get
very
away
good.
from you.
It is only 3 days old. It is fine.
Yeah, the catfish smells awful. It smells rank.
If you think that smells bad, you should see what else I have in this bag.
You almost get the feeling that maybe that was why the snake rebutted your offer. The smell of that catfish.
The snake didn't even want it.
I prestidigitate the dirtiness off of all of us so that we're clean. Sorry, you were saying Avren was doing something during your long rest before. I think I cut you off by mistake, Avren.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone needs a perception check, but for most of my long rest, I was upstairs. I was hoping to find like a pool
Upstairs
of
from the
water
dirty hole.
or a mirror of some kind that I own.
I would find it conceivable that someone as conceited as Avren would own a mirror.
Yeah. I would have been talking to the mirror that entire time to myself. Just muttering.
When
what would
the
probably
rest
sound
of the
like
party
madness to
comes out of
anyone else.
the hole, are you still doing this?
Yeah.
So they would see you. You're not making any attempt to conceal yourself.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I'm a little shaken. I tried to be a good yeah. I'm shaken.
Once we're all up and clean and the horses are fed, Callie will say, well, at this point, should we continue on to the collapsed mine, or do we need to return these trophies to Henge, or is there
the
another
mine for certain? Definitely the
Yeah,
mine.
we should probably check on everyone at the mine.
All right. I'll gather up the horses, kind of sensing that everybody's in a weird state. Once we're on, though, Callie is going to ride with Freely, specifically, both so that Sofieus can be free to chat with Avren, but also because, Freely, I would like to have some words with you, if that's okay.
Are we talking out loud or are we talking mentally?
We can do either.
Yeah, no, let's just talk because it gets a little crowded in here. Yeah, what's up?
You also have cats in your head.
Oh, kind of. Yeah. No, I've lived a few lives, honestly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I realized last night, while we were taking care of everything, that we've only known each other for a day and a half, and perhaps it was a bit presumptuous of me to be upset with you when you do not know the tactics that I usually employ. I am a creature of stealth and of investigation, and I like to be able to observe my surroundings beforehand before I make any kind of actions. And while I understand that you and your companions are familiar with whatever your tactics are, you're not with mine. And so I would appreciate it if you would hold your horses, I believe the term is.
Halflings can hide in a space occupied by another creature. So while she's talking about how sneaky she is, I want to vanish right in front of her on the horse. Just be basically behind her on the horse. And I'm like, yeah, no, I understand. See? Yeah, I get it. Sneakiness, reconnaissance, I do it all. But that thing was just as terrible if you had slip and slid down there or if we just ran face first. And more importantly, every hit that I take is a hit that you don't have to.
Yes, but if I do what I do best first, I do not prevent you from doing what you do best, it seems. I'm still learning your tactics. However, if you rush ahead, you negate most of the things that I can do.
All right. Next time something terrible happens, you sneak in, you do your thing, and you tell me when I can do mine. Deal?
I would appreciate that, because then I think we could both be very effective.
I don't know. That psychic knife laid her out. I saw that thing you did. Just like so.
Yes, but if you could see the thing that I could do when they don't see me coming, you would perhaps be more amicable to my designs.
Next one's on you. Next terrible thing. It's all yours. You get the high sign, I'll do my thing.
I'm a little worried by the fact that you are so convinced that we are going to encounter another terrible thing. I have upped my rates when we were in Port Argent?
We've been here a day and a half, and look at all the terrible things we've encountered. And Avren called me across space and time for terrible things. That's all. The only thing that dude ever sent me to do was terrible things. So yeah, I think it's
not
safe
true.
money.
Remember when you became a pickle?
Yeah, that was terrible. Being a pickle was terrible. Avren, it's terrible.
Are they
you were
still
so
talking
grimy.
telepathically?
No,
Well,
we were out loud.
We did talk out loud. Yeah,
This
No,
is out loud.
This
I've
whole
just
thing was out loud. Yeah.
been on his horse to
Mhm.
try to give you time if you wanted to talk, but also so
Oh.
that he couldn't like right away.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
So I just basically plopped on top of the back of his horse. It was like, so we need to talk. So yeah,
Mhm.
unless you've decided to ride ahead, we've been having this chat out loud.
Yeah. Nope. Also, being a pickle
we've been
was
keeping a steady
terrible.
pace in front of the two of you. I heard some Avren and I hear some bickering back there. You think we should intervene?
No, I don't think so. I think bickering's good. I think it's good for everyone. They're relatively new. Freely's getting to know Kelly's getting to know Freely. You know, they're working things out. It's good.
I believe I'm getting to know all of you, actually. This is a new relationship for all of us.
That's well, not.
Mm.
Yes, partially true.
While they're talking, I message Avren separately, and I'm like, "You do know what happened to her was not your fault, right? And quite frankly, if she's gonna come with us in this line of work, she's gonna get dinged up. Can't
Yeah,
stop
no,
it."
it's not my fault. Sofieus is far more dangerous than I am. I wouldn't worry about her. But that said, whatever that magic was, I don't have the ability to counteract it right now. And that bothers me.
It's life, man. It's the world. It's adventuring. You can't account for everything. Like you can't.
I disagree. You can account for everything.
You trying is what got you into this mess, man. And if you want something good to come from it, you got to find a different way.
Who says I want something good to come from it if it means I can protect everyone?
Actually, even though we've been messaging this, I just turn my head and I look at him out loud and I'm like, "You're doing a great job now. And your options aren't get yourself killed or lose everything you love. Like it's just trust people, lean on each other, Avren."
No,
and it very much seems like we're like mid-sentence. I'm just like, ah.
just crazily, ah. Yeah, I have no intention of losing anyone I love or myself. I'm not making a sacrificial play. I'm just not who I was, and that seems to be an issue. That's all.
That is your greatest strength.
Agree to disagree.
I think I have to agree with Freely. I do like this new version of Avren.
I did not know the old version of Avren, so I have nothing to compare.
It
The
was
old
this.
version.
Yeah.
The old
No.
version is unpredictable.
Selfish and manipulative and everything you've seen of this guy without the armor or any of the positives. That's pretty much what's him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As you're having this conversation, Avren, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
This is when Daisy takes over your mind. We've been waiting for it. Took 8 hours.
It's a natural 20.
Okay. This is perfect. That's amazing, first of all.
So many natural 20s.
So many natural 20s. So your mind doesn't get taken over, but you do feel a pull. Like a almost like somebody reaching out to you or trying to like tap you on the shoulder, but psychically.
Do I know this thing?
It snivels a lot.
It was.
Something's like trying desperately to get your attention, but doesn't know how. And you feel it plucking almost at the back of your head.
I feel like I'm smart enough to deduce who this is.
Yeah, you got a nat 20. You can figure. Yeah.
Just mentally, I'm like, hello.
Oh my god! I've been trying to get through for so long, and I don't know how.
Is everything okay?
My mom found out, and she's gonna come get you, and she's gonna yell at you. She yelled at me, and she found out. You gotta go. You gotta leave town. She's so scary.
I'm sure I can have a conversation with your
No,
mom.
no, you can't. She's mom. She's so scary. And then for Mother's Day, I tried to make her something using my powers, and that's how she found out. She's so mad at me, but she's even madder at you. And I was like, I'm not snitching, but she got that information. Yes, she did. So I told her exactly what you look like. I told her exactly where you're going. She's on her way. She was mad. She was red like a beet.
Right. Well, it's gonna be fine. I will.
No, it's gonna be bad. She's probably gonna spank you.
As someone who communicates on a regular basis psychically, do I recognize like the look on his face and what's good? So that I know I can't hear what they're saying, but can I tell that he's like mentally communicating with somebody?
He looks focused or fixated on something.
Yeah, I will say the look that you're getting right now is me like.
You're gonna get grounded, probably. Yo, you're definitely gonna get grounded.
Avren, are you talking to yourself?
No, it's Daisy. Her mom's very perturbed that she's a warlock now and wants to have a conversation, and apparently is going to beat me up.
Well, you should not be converting people into warlocks without getting parental permission first.
Yeah, listen, I started as a warlock very early. This is a different time, and I thought it would keep her safe. I was doing the right thing. Daisy's a warlock now. Now she's safer than she was before.
Does her mother now request the same power? Do you not need to just make her a warlock as well?
Oh, God. I don't think she's requesting the same power. No, I don't. But good point. If her mom was a warlock as well, then she might be more...
That's not gonna work, probably. I don't know.
Avren, don't even think about it.
I tried to put on a shadow puppet show for Mother's Day using my mage hand, and she freaked out. She freaked at me.
Right. So you're not in a village with not a ton of magic, and maybe.
Well, she wasn't scared. She was mad. She was so mad at my shadow puppet show, and it took me so long to figure out how to turn a mage hand into a horse.
Show?
It was great. I'll show you sometime. It was so good.
Right. Okay. Well, what's your mother's name?
Her name?
Yeah.
People call her Lady. But I think it's a joke. I'm not sure. I think because they're always like, listen here, lady. But I call her Mom.
Okay. Well, I will have a very
But they're always like, calm down, lady. Or don't throw that at me, lady. Or, what are you doing, lady? But I call her Mom. If I called her anything else, I'd probably be in trouble. I don't think I'm supposed to call her anything else. But everybody calls her Lady.
Probably call it Karen. I listen. I will talk to your mom. You're a warlock for life. I can't really change that now. Maybe.
Oh man, she'll not gonna be happy to hear that.
Yeah, I get that. I'm glad that you're safe though. That's good. And remember, use your powers for good. And
I feel like a hand puppet show was a pretty good thing.
I don't disagree. I think your mother is.
Normally, I only got 2 hands, but then with the puppet, I got 3. That's so many more characters. That's 3 characters. That's a better show.
You did nothing wrong. Don't tell your mom I said that because that's terrible.
I'm not gonna tell her. I don't talk back to her. Listen, when Mom talks, I shut up because I'm not a dummy.
This is the smartest child ever of all time.
Right.
I love her.
So I'll take the blame. This isn't your fault.
Okay, that's good because I already blamed you. I was like,
Okay, that's
listen,
great.
sir.
Well, you're
That
well on,
dude with
you're
no
well on
hair
your
popped up and he was like, here, take this power. I was like, oh, no, thank you, sir. I don't talk to strangers.
well.
But
You
he
don't,
still did. That just made her more mad. So now she's just super mad. But I had to cover for myself, okay?
yep.
So she asks, when you approached me, I said, stranger, and I ran. Just tell her that. That's our story. We have to stick with it.
Whoa! That is not what happened.
That is what happened as of me being in trouble. That's 100% what happened.
No. There was no.
That's what
I
I
was like,
told
do you
her.
want magic? And you're like, yep, I do.
No,
And I was like,
that's
here you
not,
go.
no, I'm
Now,
not.
I'm going to tell you.
Listen,
You know what? I think I'm going to tell your mom
my
the truth.
mom's a scary lady. You can't snitch. You know what they say about snitches?
But you just snitched. You just snitched.
Well, that's different though, because
How is that different?
I was gonna get grounded. That's
Like, oh
different.
God, a whole week, right? Or a
You're
month?
a grown up. You can't get grounded.
That's I given the last 3 hours, I can tell you most certainly
Maybe, I
yes.
don't know. My mom's
can.
pretty scared. Maybe she can ground you. Maybe she'll spank you. Who knows? Honestly,
I'm not
probably not
no,
gonna
I
let you hang out
prefer
with your
not.
friends for a week. She's
Okay,
so
this is
scary.
stressful. So all right.
Yeah, I gotta go.
well,
I have things to do. I'll talk to you later. If you see
have
my
some orange
mom,
slices.
bye.
Bye. Good times. Good times.
I lean over to Freely and I say, I've been told that I make that same face when I am communicating with my father and he is yelling at me over a psychic link.
Somebody yelling at him over a psychic link?
I'm pretty sure someone is yelling at him over a psychic link.
I turned to Sofieus. She's like that close to being Elindra when she was young.
Wait,
Aw,
that
my
close.
Did
little butterball.
Did Alindra call you guys?
Who is Alindra?
Yes, our daughter, Lindy.
A friend of mine that I haven't seen in too long now. But wait, who was yelling at you over a psychic link?
Oh, that was Daisy.
Did
I
you tell her that
wanted to be sharing it if I could with everyone. Maybe so I could like spread out the psychic damage a little bit.
If you shared it with me, I would have shared it with everybody else in my most accurate Avren and Daisy interpretations.
The
Absolutely.
only
Daisy
thing
was so loud, I feel like you could hear her over the phone, right? Kind of.
Like there's interference going on.
the only thing I would have done differently other than
spill over.
just sit there is say tell her that we killed that thing so that people in Hinge will know.
Oh,
Otherwise
right.
I would have just listened.
Try connecting to her again. Daisy?
You hear her like humming songs, like she's like a bath song.
Wh-
You gotta put the soap in your pets, or else they're gonna smell like spit.
And now she's
And
saying,
you gotta get the
put
scrub
soap
and bubbles.
or else you got
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm in Avernus. So here's the thing. We killed the monster. Yay! Tell the village. We're heroes. Tell them we won. Yay team.
What monster?
We found a monster in the dry lake and we killed it.
Oh, that was like from 4 days ago. I feel like that's still you guys just talking about that. That's so old.
Avren,
Listen, I gotta take a bath. I have really important.
Okay, that's fine.
So
That's
I will
cool.
talk to you
Yep,
later.
have a good day.
make sure you tell Daisy to tell everybody that you were psychically telling her to tell everybody, because I'm sure they will be very happy to hear that you have a constant psychic connection with your patron.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. not
Also,
one bit of it.
I can verify that that's not necessarily a positive.
If you were listening, you would definitely hear the impish smile in Kelly's voice.
How far out?
Mm.
Patrons.
How far out were we from the collapsed mine?
Many hours.
Many hours, yeah. So, but I mean, we could say that time passes and you make your way there. It's pretty dark by now.
Every hour when I refresh the psychic connection, I look over at Avren and I say, would you like to talk with Daisy again and relay what she is up to now?
No, I would not. And you just see him flipping a coin over and over again. And every time the coin hits the same face on the coin.
Can I, do I notice him doing this over time?
Oh, I'm sure.
'Cause if I do,
not a lot of effort to conceal it. So
At some point after we've, like, this is our version of 99 bottles of beer when we're writing, I just catch the coin with the mage hand. And I'm like, maybe the coin's not gonna tell you what you want to know, brother. and then I consciously flip it over with the mage hand and put it down with the other side up in his palm.
Oh no. He just slowly turns his neck towards you a little too much, with not enough give in his body. And he smiles. And you see the smiling face on the coin. You can keep that freely. I have more.
No. That's yours, buddy. I never got one before. I don't need it now. No, that's for your
Oh, you
collection.
don't understand freely. That's yours.
This is another weird Avren thing. Okay, fine. You forget you're a lot, and I mage hand it to myself, and I'm like, you're a lot squishier now. You can get it like anybody else. And this keep riding.
You message that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spur buttermilk.
That's my favorite message in D&D. You're all squishy now.
Yeah.
You can get it like anybody else.
Freely basically says, catch cans anytime, and spurs buttermilk on haughtily. And you as sunset falls, you find yourself. It's actually getting pretty dark now by this point, because I believe we've had 2 long rests. So by this point, like, it's moonlight that is actually illuminating your path. And sure enough, you see the jetting bone structures of the wall that surrounds the port town that you've come to know and love. Or not really, I guess. You haven't got a chance to
live in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 2 of us have spent about an hour in. Oh, we're back.
There seems to be a little bit of commotion going on. It's not super panicked. It just seems like even for this time of night, the city's very busy. But yes, that's a good question.
Even as we're approaching, just as like you can even see the gates and even catch like the faintest hint of the noise, I cast thaumaturgy and make my voice boom 3 times louder.
Mm-hmm.
All hail Avren, the Knight of Smiles and Stink.
As you cast thaumaturgy,
are you not going to announce the rest of us freely?
No, we'll announce the rest of us when we get in.
Yeah,
there.
that was
The
very
smile
rude.
that we lead with the
Announce
smiles and
everyone
stink,
else.
though. No,
I
trust
feel
me.
very left out that you've
Smiles and
just
stink.
you didn't even include Sofieus. And...
Yeah, what about me? I am the Knight of Bacon. I mean, that means something.
as your voice echoes and booms and bounces off almost like the walls and like gets amplified, you notice the guards up on the, by the gateway. They're not really on the wall, they're down below, kind of look up, and you notice people are like pointing and looking at you. And as this happens, Avren, I'm gonna have you make a second wisdom saving throw.
Oh god.
You're gonna have to roll a little high.
Yeah.
Is this the town where we were council members?
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
I put my dice away. I didn't think I was gonna need them again.
I got a 14.
14. Okay, so
Well, that is proof. I mean, I rolled a dice and got a 14, and then I rolled digital dice and got a 14.
oh, that's
so-
not bad.
Yeah.
What I rolled wasn't bad. So you hear all of a sudden a loud clang, only you, and it reverberates in your ears. You only take 4 necrotic damage as you clamp your ears, and you feel like this, almost like somebody put a pot in your head and rang it.
Mhm.
And sure enough, like on the ground in front of you, you see a small, very, very angry goblin. And she says, Avren, knight of what? I don't care what you're the knight of. I've been looking for you forever, and we are going to have words, sir. And
I
that,
feel like we just
Oh,
already
no.
just had some words just now, didn't we? Technically?
yes, she did use Toll the Dead on you.
Yeah. Are you Daisy's mom? I'm assuming.
Yes, I am. I'm glad you asked me after you taught my daughter to be a warlock. Very glad
she need
for
to
that.
learn. She can defend herself now. And
You're going to need to defend yourself. Who the
Okay.
heck do you think you are?
Avren,
What,
god
do you
of
think
mischief.
because you're some big magic man, you could just do what you want? Huh?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Well, you're
all
not.
accurate.
There,
However,
there are
to
consequences
the
for
point,
things like this.
your
My
daughter was
is
out
not
in the
ready to
middle
be
of a
warlock.
dangerous
I
location.
don't care. She was lost for days. I was worried sick, and then she comes back and she has a magical hand. No.
It was
Not
either
on my
that or be
watch.
dead.
I don't
Ma'am,
care. Well,
could
I don't think she would have died.
Right.
My daughter is very good. She's
Can
very
I, Jesse,
capable.
just
This is
one
gaslighting.
question, ma'am?
What do you,
Just
what do
one
you want?
question.
What do you want? What do you
Were
want?
you by chance married to a man named Georgie?
No.
Okay, great. No,
Georgie is an idiot, and so are you. I can't believe all of you allowed this. All of you. All four of you. None of you thought. Nobody in this. Aren't some of you town council members?
I did not have anything to do with this. No. I am not part of this.
Right.
This is all
So
Avren.
let me just stop you right there. Your child, who is a child, we both, completely agree with this, was out in the middle of the wilderness, completely by herself,
Right.
defenseless,
Lost.
with no weapons,
Yes.
no means of
Yes.
defense.
Right.
And you left her out there, and then I discovered her, and I
did not
gave her
leave her out
some
there.
of my
I was
magic
looking
so
for her
she
for
could
weeks.
defend
For the
herself.
record, I am a single mom. I am doing my best. Don't you dare put this on me. I will drag you down from that horse and whip you silly.
Okay,
You should.
I will do every effort to make your daughter completely defenseless and take away her magic, just
She
the
is
way she
not
was
defenseless.
before. So
She
when
is
she wanders
not
off next
defenseless.
time,
Oh. She looks at Freely and she says, "Hold me back. Hold me back." So
No,
help.
get him. No, have at him. No, he deserves it. Yeah, right.
You don't hold her back?
No, he's like, no, this is all very valid, ma'am. Have at
ma'am,
it.
you don't trust me, correct?
Oh, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. And
You
I can
hate me,
tell.
right?
Oh, yes. Oh,
You're very
yes.
angry
There
at
will
me.
Hell to pay for this.
Absolutely. Your daughter
I
did
would
nothing
roast
wrong.
you right now, where you stand. I
Your
would do it.
daughter
I
did
would do
nothing
it.
wrong.
But you know what? It would break Daisy's heart.
Yeah,
And
that's
I have
true.
to tell her that we can't take the law into our own hands because I have to set a good example for her, something that you couldn't do.
That's also true.
As you come in here acting like you're king of the town. Oh, all hail Avren, Knight of Smiles. My butt.
But what?
Well, you got a little squire to announce where you go. These are the type of values you're teaching my daughter to be a stuck-up, pompous little language.
Okay, so we all agree that I'm a terrible person. I'm
Language,
evil.
Wendy. Language. Oh.
Okay.
Might I recommend monkey muffins?
Yeah.
I
Oh.
find that's a good one to
Oh,
use.
I would love to have warlock muffins. I would like to grind up this warlock and make muffins out of them and eat them and sell them at the market. Maybe we should turn you Avren Knight of Muffins. Maybe we should do that.
Sure,
It would
fine.
taste
I
like
would love to
salt and
land with
stink.
a muffin.
I'm sorry, maybe you did not recognize that I was using muffins as a way of talking about poo.
Oh, no, I didn't get that. I don't want to lance with poo. That's disgusting.
No, that was a...
Avren,
No.
Avren,
Yes?
I think you should eat this piece of gum here real quick.
Oh,
before
no,
these
I don't
things
think
get
I
out of
am
hand.
going to eat the gum.
Why don't you just eat the piece of gum, please?
I don't think I'm going to eat the piece of gum.
Oh,
right.
don't
Okay,
worry.
I eat the piece of gum.
You're going to have... So you disappear?
Yeah, he goes invisible for 1 hour.
recognizing
Don't
that-
think that just because I can't see you, I can't do anything about that.
Wendy, it's me, the voice of poor parenting.
Oh.
I am haunting you because you left your daughter out in the wilderness defenseless, and a noble and just god of mischief gave her magic. You're welcome. Bye, Wendy.
She calms down. She turns on her heel. She starts strutting back towards town and she just says, "I know where you sleep." And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
Oh my god.
These
She sounds-
episodes
She sounds
are
dangerous. I'm kind of scared of
completely
her.
unhinged, and I love it. They never end the way with they. No
Well,
rational
I was
D&D
going to
show.
say, I was like, it would take her a while to figure out where you are. And so Freely's like, "All hell Avren." And I'm like, oh.
Perfect.
Well, let's move the plot.
Two things. First of all, you're welcome. Second of all, no lies detected.
Every time
just
that
sort of
you've
like spur
ever
the
said,
horse.
First of all, you're welcome. Someone took a shit on me. Like every time. Like it's never a good thing. It's you're welcome means something horrible. Yeah. Just saying. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Jasmine.
Fun.
I think you
want
should have...
Wendy smoke.
See, now I'm excited about you trying to make this cleric a warlock too.
Oh yeah. No, for real. Yep. Oh, wait. Real quick announcement. We've got butter emotes. We've got emotes for psychic damage. Be sure to subscribe to the Twitch channel.
I'm still like in the
those
game.
butter emotes.
I know. I'm locked into the fact that I love this. I'm sorry. I have a mom angry at me, and I am having to be responsible for a 7-year-old child. This is the best D&D game ever made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. Also, I still think you picked the right child to be your world.
I know I did. I'm
Yeah,
literally
she's
raising
perfect.
myself.
Basically, it's
Like,
you in goblin form.
It really is me in goblin form. Who knows? Maybe Avren started as a goblin.
I can't wait for the moment where we skip ahead 20 years and Daisy is like the person who has saved everybody, saved the world.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
She's a
well,
level
watch.
20
Daisy's
warlock.
actually a
Daisy as a
Lindra. That's the twist. Oh my god. No. That was amazing. That combat was so visceral and disgusting.
Good. I'm glad. I'm
Oh
happy you
god,
guys
the
are
slithering. That was that was another like amazing Witcher like moment where you're just gross dead flesh and mud and this thing swirling around and around like some like undead gravitron. It's just ugh.
I kept thinking of that dumb video on TikTok, where they're like, "I'm a snake," like the whole time.
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake.
Oh, that's much older than TikTok. That's the early days of
I
YouTube.
was gonna say, I was like,
Oh,
that's
is it? That was the
Oh,
first time I ever
jeez.
heard it.
Oh yeah, that's
What is
old.
that from?
No, it's just that dude. That's why he became famous. Is that
Oh.
video?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
okay.
just type
Where
in
do
like "I'm
memes
a
come from?
snake" with like 3 A's. You'll find it.
okay.
It'll probably autocomplete.
Yeah.
You won't get to
I am a snake.
Honestly, yes.
Thank
That
you
was
so
so
much for
good.
joining me today. I had a wonderful time playing with you all. Let's go around the table and get some shout outs out of the way. I'm gonna reverse it this time. I'm gonna start with Megan.
Oh, I get to start this time. No
Mhm.
pressure.
Yeah. Totally
I'm
didn't put you
Megan
on the spot.
No,
You
no.
got this. You got this.
I'm Meagan Kenreck. You can find me on Twitter at Meagan Kenreck, and lots of exciting stuff going on, but I can't talk about it yet. And go help out Tess. Go donate to her GoFundMe.
Todd.
I'm Todd Kenreck, the creative manager, and apparently responsible for alienating mothers and daughters everywhere. I make creative stuff. I'm gonna be DMing Beyond Heroes tomorrow, and
Yay!
everyone be happy and safe. And if play D&D and be happy. That's it. That's my message for the
I'll
day.
play D&D and be miserable.
Okay, well,
You can do that too.
I am playing in this game, so like,
Yeah.
I'm always happy to help
Yeah.
with that.
So you can't make me be happy.
You can't make me be happy. Don't you tell me how to be.
You tell
The
me what to
Wendy
do.
and me.
You're still the mom.
You're still in Wendy mode. Yep.
You
Lauren,
get a little vision into Jasmine.
I feel like I just want to back away slowly from this argument and watch the two of you continue to go at it because it's kind of fun.
It was
I kind of want to know
entertaining.
who would win 1v1 between Wendy and Avren.
Oh, the mom.
Well,
Definitely
I
the
think
mom.
the
Yep,
mom
my money's on the
somehow.
mom.
It would just be
Yeah.
like a haymaker or something. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that mom energy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Big,
how I
big mom
can,
energy.
I can save my puppy at the last second from imminent death for no reason.
Yeah. This is
Gets the mom strength? Is that what it is?
It's mom strength.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the mom that has raised Daisy Goblin Chomper. I don't want to get in her way.
Right? Yeah, she's not like the safest child in the first place.
Yeah.
She has a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know. For a second there, I was like, I kind of wanted to say her name is Wendy, but then I was like, when I was that age, I didn't know my mom's name.
oh yeah.
I,
It
I
was
don't know
weird to
why. It
say,
probably
yeah,
sounds
I know.
stupid, but I just
No.
like, I never, because nobody ever called my mom by her name around me.
Yeah,
So I'd always
yeah.
be like, oh yeah, it's mom.
They didn't call your mom lady, did they?
No, I just threw
Okay,
that in because
good.
I was like, yeah, I was like,
That made it serious because when you said like, oh, they usually call her lady, I'm like, oh shit.
ooh.
Oh, yeah. And often enough that Daisy knows this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
but
would be
Lauren-
more comfortable with hey death knight than hey.
Hey, lady. Lauren, who are you? Where can people find you?
Who am I? I'm Lauren Urban. You might know me as Obo. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. You'll find me on Beyond Heroes tomorrow, playing in the game that Todd DMs and having a lot of fun. You can also find me at D&D Beyond or on Twitter as Obo Lauren. And you should donate to Tess Fowler's thing, which I don't have the link for.
I put it
Sorry.
in chat, but I'll do it again.
It's in chat. I have wonderful moderators who take care of all of that. Thank you, mods.
Thanks for that, B Dave. B Dave, take it away.
Yes, same thing. Please do support Tess if you can. I am on all the things. I'm streaming everywhere anybody will let me on a camera to say words. And hey, this Sunday, this lady right here, Jasmine, and I will be playing an indeterminate game. We've yet to decide if it's going to be D&D Vampire or something else.
Yeah.
This
Mouse
Sunday.
guard.
One-on-one show. We'll play mouse guard. Like, I don't care. Like, just like lady's choice. You tell me what it is, and that'll be what it is. So yeah, we'll be hanging out 1 o'clock Pacific on twitch.tv/Q times. Otherwise, a whole bunch of other stuff. But it's more important that if you can support or signal boost Tess. Yeah.
And I'm that bronze girl. Everything these nice people said ×2. That's what I say. Sorry, I'm still in like in
Fierce
board
mom mode.
I think you're
Tabletop
still like
buzz.
mad at me in real life right now.
I'm feeling
Right
it.
now. Yeah.
I get like all like where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be interesting, and this is what's gonna happen next, and then like my brain goes down that track, and it's hard for me to like make sense. But yeah, the link that B Dave posted, click on it. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me hanging out with B Dave this Sunday. That's about it.
Oh, I did have one last thing. I know people have been asking. I will start to be running a one-on-one game with my lovely lady wife, as they say in What We Do in the Shadows.
I love that show.
On the weekends. We don't know what time, probably Saturdays. But that's gonna be a continuous show where Sofieus goes murdering things.
Yeah,
and
super
collecting
super excited about
eyeballs.
doing that. Yeah.
That'll
Very
be
nice.
fun.
That'll be cute. That'll be
Yeah.
super cute.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching us every single week. I appreciate it, and I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy during these
Yeah.
times.
All right.
Bye,
Love you guys.
everyone.
Bye.